When you add and subtract fractions, you have to get the same denominator, the same bottom, just like you do when you compare them. So you can only add if they're the same. So what you do is when you add fractions, 3/7 plus 1/7, you keep the denominator the same, but then you add the numerators. So it's 4/7. This one, the two denominators are the same, so it's 6/8. But at the end, you want to reduce it. So I could divide the top by 2 and the bottom by 2 to get 3/4. So make sure you reduce it at the end. These two have the same denominators, so I just do 7 minus 4, which is 3/11. And 3/11 doesn't reduce. These two have the same denominator, so I do 9/10 minus 7/10. 9 minus 7 is 2/10, but then you have to reduce it. So divide the top by 2 and the bottom by 2 to get 1/5. If the denominators are not the same, then we have to look at least common multiples and get them to be the same. So for example, 2/3 plus 1/5. Well, they're not the same, so the least common multiple of 3 and 5 is 15. So you want this fraction to be 15 and this fraction to be 15. So to go from 5 to 15, you have to multiply by 3. So we have to multiply the top by 3 to get 3. To go from 3 to 15, you have to multiply by 5. So we have to multiply 2 by 5 to get 10. In the end, you're going to add the numerators. 10 plus 3 is 13 15ths. And you keep the denominator the same, and that does not reduce. So now let's do these examples. So we have to find the least common multiple of the denominators. So the least common multiple of 8 and 4 is 8. So to change from 4 to 8, we multiply by 2. So I have to multiply the top by 2. So it's 6/8. So now I'm going to add negative 7 plus 6, and you get negative 1, 8. And it doesn't reduce. Okay, the letter B. You have to get the least common multiple of 8 and 6, which is 24. So to change 6 to 24, you multiply by 4. So I have to multiply 5 by 4 to get 20 24ths, or negative 20 24ths, because there's a negative right there. And to go from 8 to 24, I multiply by 3. So this is 3 24ths. So 3 minus 20 is negative 17 24ths, and it does not reduce. Okay, letter C. 2/3 plus 1/6. So 2/3 and 6, 3 and 6, the least common multiple is 6. So change 3 to 6 means I multiply by 2. So I have to multiply the top by 2. So it's going to be 4/6 plus 1/6, which is 5. Keep the denominator same, 6. And then letter D, the least common multiple of 4 and 3 is 12. So 12 and 12. So to go from 4 to 12, you multiply by 3. So this numerator is going to be 3. To go from 3 to 12, you multiply by 4. So you have to multiply that by 4. So 3 take away 4 is negative 1/12, and it doesn't reduce. Okay, what about when fractions are written as mixed numbers? So a mixed number, mixture means different things. So you kind of have you have mixture of two types of numbers because you have a whole number and a fraction. That's why it's called a mixed number. You're mixing up whole numbers and fractions. So to change to an improper fraction, improper is when there's a higher number on the top. What you do is you multiply these two right here. So you do 2 times 3, and then you add the numerator, plus 2. So 2 times 3 plus 2 is 8. and you put the denominator as 3. So it's 8/3. So let's do B again. 1 times 4 plus the numerator, which is 3. So 1 times 4 is 4. 4 plus 3 is 7. And then we keep the denominator as 4, because that's our denominator right there. Letter C, multiply the two numerators. 5 times 4. Oops, I'm going to erase that. I wrote, it looked like a 2. So 5 times 4, then plus the numerator, which is a 3. So 5 times 4 is 20. 20 plus 3 is 23. And then you keep the denominator the same right here. And then the last one, 3 times 6. So I write out 3 times 6, because you're multiplying these two, plus 1 is 19/6. So when you adding the following fractions, leave your answer as an improper fraction and make sure it's in simplest form. Sometimes you want to change it to an improper fraction. But in this case, when you have the two leading numbers are the same, you just need to do 5/8 minus 1/8. So 5/8 minus 1/8 is 4/8, which reduces to 1/2. And this is why, if I draw a picture of 1 and 5/8, 1 and 5/8 looks like this, right here. 1 and 1/8 looks like this right here. So if I'm going to subtract 1 and 5/8 minus 1 and 1/8, these two would cancel out. And then I'm going to do 5/8 minus 1/8, which if you cancel these two out, you're left with 4/8, which is 1/2. That's how that works. That works like that when these two front numbers are the same. So down here, what I would do is I would change these to an improper fraction first. So this is 3, oops. So this is 3 times 6, which is 18, plus 5, which is 23/6, plus 2 times 4, which is 8, plus 3 is 11/4. Now you can get a common denominator. So the common denominator is 12/12. So you have to multiply this one by 3 to get 33. You multiply this one by 2 to get 46. So 46 plus 33 all over 12 is 79/12. So can I divide those by 2? Nope. Try 3. Is 3 a factor? Nope, because 7 plus 9 is 16, and that's not divisible by 3. So 79/12 is the answer. So I would change them into an improper fraction. So -1 times 3 is -3. Or actually, you know what? When you do these with an improper fraction, just ignore the negative until the end. So this is -5/3. So ignore the negative until the end. 2 times 4 is 8, plus 1 is 9/4. So again, our common denominator is going to be 12. So you multiply the top by 3, because this is going to be 3. Multiply that by 3 and you get 27. Multiply this by 4 and you get -20. So -20 minus 9 is minus -20 minus 27 is -47/12. So is there another number that's a factor of 47 and 12? Nope. So there's your answer.